When some people think of millionaires, they often picture the houses, the cars, the shopping, the vacations. But even though their spending can be on a greater scale compared to the average person, some of their habits might be more common than you realize. And you might share a millionaire's mindset if you get excited over discounts. Some of the wealthiest people are also the most frugal. And of course, that doesn't mean that they don't enjoy what they have or spend money, but a lot of them also enjoy saving because they understand value. So if you check clearance racks, compare prices before checkout, or use a promo code like it's second nature, that's indicative that you're mindful of where your money goes, which is a millionaire habit because many of them don't throw their money around just because. They recognize that every single dollar is a dollar that can be saved, invested, or put towards something meaningful. So the next time someone teases you, even playfully because you got excited about saving 30%, just know that some people with money do the exact same thing. You might also have a millionaire mindset if you ask about financial advice. Whether it's a parent, a friend, a coach, or maybe a video you've watched online, you're doing something that a lot of millionaires do, which is seek knowledge. One of the most powerful habits of wealthy people is knowing when to ask questions and who to ask them to. They'll surround themselves with experts and advisors. So the fact that you're willing to ask for help and you seek good financial advice, that is a clear sign that you care about doing better. And you also recognize that asking the right questions will take you so much further than guessing. In addition, you understand opportunity costs. And this might sound like a fancy term, but it's really just about understanding what you're giving up every time you make a decision. If you ask yourself questions like, is this really worth it? Or what else could I be doing with this money? Then you're already thinking like a wealthy person. Because the most frugal ones don't just look at price tags. They also look at the trade-off. So in other words, that $500 whatever purchase that you're thinking about is also $500 that you can't invest or use someplace else. So maybe you skipped a last-minute impulse weekend getaway because you knew that that money could go toward an important goal. Or maybe you've passed on the newest phone because your old one works just fine. The bottom line is that when you make decisions with the bigger picture in mind, you're practicing the same financial awareness that helps high earners build stability. Having a side hustle is also a millionaire habit because most wealthy people don't have one job or business. They have multiple income sources, with some of them being passive. So if you're already running a side hustle, maybe selling something online, doing freelance work, offering services on the weekends, or even renting out a room, then you're already playing the long game. Because you're also learning to create income and not just earn it. Even if your side hustle only earns a few $100s a month, that's extra money that you can use to pay off debt, save, or invest. In addition, you've said, let me sleep on it before making a big decision. Impulse decisions can waste a lot of money, and high earners know this, which is why they often give themselves time to think. It is so easy to get caught up in a moment, but if you were to talk to some of the most financially stable people, you might quickly realize that they do not let external or even internal pressures drive their decisions. They take a step back, they check their goals, they run through worst case scenarios, all in an effort to keep their emotions in check. So when you say, let me sleep on it, you're showing self-control and you're giving yourself time to process whether something matches your priorities. Another thing that you might have in common with some millionaires is that you're not afraid to say no to your friends. And this can be tough for some people, but it is so powerful. Some rich people, especially the ones who don't care about keeping up, they have nothing to prove. So sometimes they might make decisions that their peers don't understand. And for them, it can look like skipping trends or maybe preferring peace over flexing. And of course, there's nothing wrong with having nice things or spending money on things that you can actually afford. But on the smaller scale, if you've ever chosen peace of mind over impressing others, you're already ahead. When we're talking about frugal, financially stable, high earners, they don't need to prove that they have money. So it's not uncommon to see some of these people living quieter, simpler lives because their focus is on staying rich and not necessarily looking rich. So if you do not care what friends, family, or coworkers are doing with their money or what they're buying, and maybe you've purposely chosen to live in a smaller home, drive an older car, or maybe just have an overall simpler lifestyle so that you're able to sleep better at night, then you're already tapping into a millionaire's mindset, even if you don't have $1 million in the bank.